guys, and welcome back to yet another video. And in this video I'm going to tell you how I manifested $4,000 in a single day. That might sound crazy to some of you, and it seemed crazy to me too at the time, and I wasn't even trying to manifest $4,000. I was actually just trying to manifest $1,000. So the fact that I got more than what I was trying to manifest was awesome, and I've used this technique to create tons of different things in my life, and we're definitely going to get into quantum mechanics, subconscious programming, and the law of vibration and attraction as a whole, because all of that is really what creates things in our physical environment. And since we can control how we use these tools and our subconscious mind, we can actually control what we experience in our life. And so we are definitely going to talk about that more, and yeah, let's get into it. So one of my main forms of manifesting things is called scripting. So you've probably heard of it. It's basically where you write on a notebook everything that you want to have, but in present tense, like it's already happened. And usually a lot of us will kind of be on a negative level consciously, and so we have to kind of switch our thoughts when it comes to what we want. How do you talk about what you want? Do you always say, oh, I wish this would happen, or I hope this would happen, but it's probably not going to happen, or I don't know how I'm going to do this? Basically, time is non-linear, so when we talk about things that we want in the future, it's reaffirming to us that we don't actually have it, and so subconsciously we stay on the same frequency because we're vibrating on what we actually see around us and not creating a new frequency by new thoughts and new feelings. What I mean about that, instead of feeling like fear, doubt, and worry for not having the things that you want to experience, practice each day feeling like you already have it. And at first it might feel weird, like, why am I trying to feel something that I don't actually have? And that's your conscious mind, and that runs 5% of your brain. That's your rational mind. So when you're manifesting, it's going to be like, why are you saying you already have this and feeling super excited? It hasn't actually happened. But what happens with repetition is we can actually get through to our conscious mind into our subconscious mind, and that's where we can create new neural pathways to change our emotions and how we see the world, which will create new experiences. So basically, if you start telling yourself, say for example, you want to live near the beach, if you start feeling like you already have been living at the beach and you tune into exactly what that would feel like if you were actually there, and you keep doing that over and over each day, the subconscious is going to say, well, why are they acting like they're already at the beach and talking about being at the beach and how excited they are that they're finally there if they aren't actually there? So it must be true if they're talking about it in the present tense. And so that starts to reprogram our brain, and that actually influences our environment on a physical level, which is how we attract opportunities or people into our life or circumstances. And this isn't something that's magic or anything. Pretty much everything around us can either be taken in a positive way or a negative way. But depending on where your focus is what you're going to experience. So if you say as soon as you wake up that you know it's going to be a bad day, then you're going to be hyper focused on every little thing that could go wrong, making it seem like that day was actually a bad day. But if you focus on the frequency of having an amazing day and having amazing things happen to you, even if there are little things that aren't convenient for you, you're resonating on another level and not really focusing on those things, and so you tend to just ignore them, and then you're hyperactive to seeing the actual experiences that are positive. And our conscious mind can only focus on what we give energy to. So if you're hyper focused on something negative, or you're in kind of a negative mindset, then that's really all that your conscious mind is going to be able to perceive and feed to the subconscious mind. So really it's all about switching your perception and almost tricking your subconscious mind to seeing the circumstances and things that would make your life better for you specifically. And also, I'm a pretty scientific person when it comes to these things. I like to see the studies and the experiments and the numbers behind things. And this is found in neuroscience and quantum physics. So if you're definitely interested in kind of figuring out more about how this works, definitely look into those topics. And if any of you watch documentaries and you want some awesome documentary recommendations, just comment down below and I will leave you some. But pretty much that's how scripting works, as you are reading the life that you want to have as if it's already happened. And what this starts to do is it starts to activate your creative brain. So now your creative brain is activated and you're actually able to imagine it a lot more vividly. Say you want to make more money. If you wrote down how much money you want to make, like you already did it, and acted super excited while you were writing it, your brain eventually, after repetition and repeating it over and over and practice feeling the emotions, it's going to go down into your subconscious mind and see it as fact. And it's been shown in science that what is going on in our subconscious mind has a direct link to our physical environment. So all you really need to do is put the correct emotions, feelings, intentions, and expectations into your subconscious mind, which will create new neural pathways in your brain, which will help change your experiences physically on a quantum level as well. So when you're writing this on your paper, make sure to say it in the present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that I make $4,000 a month. I am so happy and grateful now that I live by the beach. I remember when I didn't live by the beach, and now I do, and it is the best feeling in the world. Saying I remember when on your paper is really, really powerful, because you're affirming to your subconscious mind that you remember when things were hard or when you didn't have what you want, but now you do. And anything that is constantly repeated to the mind with emotion will create our experiences, whether we use that in a negative way or a positive way. It's up to us. So instead of focusing on what we don't want to happen or what we don't want, we should really focus on what would it be like to have everything that I want, all the money that I want, the relationships I want, the circumstances that I want. Really tune into what that would feel like now if you have it now, because again, time is non-linear. And what we've experienced so far in our waking life is a symptom of our previous subconscious programming. So when people say, oh, I'm trying to think positive and it's not working, it's because everything that we've been experiencing is from our previous subconscious programming, and we need to give it time to blossom. It's just like if we plant something in the garden, we don't plant it and then come back the next day super upset because a flower hasn't grown or a plant hasn't grown. We know that manifestation takes time in all forms. Even giving birth, it takes 9 months to conceive a child and to create a child. Everything takes time to manifest in nature. And since these are universal laws, this is no different. So I was trying to manifest $1,000 from my paintings. I've always been painting, but I've always wanted to kind of do it in a form of a business or a side business. So basically what I did on this piece of paper is I wrote down how happy and excited I was to get $1,000 from one of my paintings. And this was only over the course of 2 days. Like, this was probably a little less than 2 days that I was doing this and practicing this before I actually got the sale. So pretty much on my paper I just wrote, I am so happy and excited that I finally made a sale for one of my paintings for $1,000. Money is constantly flowing in my bank account for my artwork and for my services, and I couldn't be happier. I am making so much more money than I spend. And of course, put in what resonates with you on your paper, but really put something in there that could help you feel really excited, inspired, and motivated. You really have to feel it. And at first, sometimes it's a little bit hard to feel because, again, your conscious mind is trying to rationalize everything. But I have a trick for this, and you just have to fake smile. Fake smile actually activates something subconsciously, which releases the same endorphins as happiness and excitement does. So if you're not feeling super happy or excited, try just fake smiling while you're reading your paper, and you will start to actually feel genuine happiness and excitement. I would definitely recommend reading this paper at least twice a day, maybe as soon as you wake up and before you go to bed. But honestly, anytime I think of the paper, I will read it. I mean, I have a million papers that I read daily for manifestation, and a lot of them that I've memorized. So of course you can create as many as you want as well. But make sure that you are reading it consistently, because our most dominant thoughts are what is going to go into the subconscious mind. So your dominant thoughts have to be about the life you're wanting to attract, or the circumstances or the finances or the relationships that you want to bring in. That really has to be a dominant thought before we actually see it physically in our waking life. So I was reading this every single day. I was reading this paper. It was only like 2 days that I was doing this specific one. But I remember on the second day when I actually got the sale, but before I realized I got the sale, I woke up and I just acted like it already happened. I woke up and I acted like I had a notification on my phone for the sale, and I started getting super happy and excited and starting my day with those emotions, and then I thought about it the rest of the day. I even wrote myself a fake check for $1,000 and looked at it often, because your subconscious mind doesn't know that it's a fake check, right? It just sees it for what it is, and it gets implanted, and it's like, oh, well, I actually see the money with my physical eyes, so it must be real, right? You know, it does something subconsciously that truly makes you believe that it actually happened if you read it enough and kind of implement that information into your subconscious mind. I remember just a couple hours after I woke up, I actually did get a message from someone who is interested in one of my paintings. They wanted to see all of my paintings that I have ever done, so I sent them, you know, my portfolio of my artwork, and they said that they were interested in 3 of my paintings, and I didn't have a price going at that point. I was just kind of painting for fun, but I wanted to start doing it as a business, so I didn't really think about the prices of things. So he just actually made an offer, and he said, okay, how about I give you $4,000 for those 3 paintings? And that was honestly way more than I expected. I didn't know exactly what to price them at, but that was definitely more than I expected for those 3 paintings. And what's funny is when I was painting those paintings, I was telling myself, these ones are going to go to someone who they really inspire and who really loves my artwork. I kind of put that intention in my artwork as I was creating it, and I specifically did it with 4 of them, and he picked 3 out of the 4, so it's kind of crazy that he chose those paintings that I kind of set the intention to sell in the first place. And guys, there's a million ways to manifest on a quantum level, and for those of you who know Napoleon Hill, and even those of you who don't, he did write a book called Think and Grow Rich, which I have been reading a lot, and I've been like obsessed with his work for a while. And he actually talks about the 13 principles of success, and his books and his work has made millions of millionaires, and I have been in love with his work and sharing it with as many people as I can, and it has been like mind-blowing how fast these principles work. And so I wanted to do that in a video coming up soon, kind of breaking down the 13 principles of success. Of course, we should probably do them one at a time, like one principle for each video. But I wanted to share the principles of success with you and see if we can all kind of create some magic in our lives using these principles, using subconscious programming, neuroscience, and quantum mechanics. The reason why I love this work is because it's actually backed by, you know, science and experiments, and I've seen it work for me time and time again. So I definitely want to talk about this more so you guys can be inspired and motivated to create the exact life you want, because you were born to live the exact life that you want to live. So guys, that's how I manifested $4,000 in a single day. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comments and I will make sure to get back to you. Also, let me know what you guys think about me doing a Napoleon Hill's 13 Principles to Success series. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I think now is the time, because I'm like, every day I'm getting like more and more inspired by this work and just like more blown away. And I feel like I have so much that I want to share with you. So definitely let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comments. And if you guys are wanting to learn how to lucid dream in 30 days or less, definitely make sure to check out my 40-part lucid dreaming video course, where I teach you exactly how to do that and all the deeper practices within lucid dreaming as well, and even how to induce out-of-body experiences. You can use the code HALF-OFF, no space between those two words, just half off, to get 50% off, and it comes with a free one-on-one mentorship session with me as well. So definitely check that out if that interests you. And guys, I just released a new line of merch a couple weeks ago, so definitely check out the merch, which is in the description as well, if you want to rock some pretty cool dreaming gear. Alright guys, and that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining, and as always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity.